Hello, hi, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be starting another reading vlog of a series that I'm in the middle of. So the book that I'm going to be reading for this vlog is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And you might be like, Emily, what are you talking about? That is the first book in the series. Yeah, I know, okay? And I am really mad at myself about this. So basically what happened is I originally got this book because I wanted to read this series. I was so excited. Everybody loved it. So I was like, yes, please. Like YA fantasy, that's so my jam. So I got this book and then I found out that there was a prequel novel. So it's called The Assassin's Blade and it's 5 prequel novellas in one book. And I debated with myself. I was like, do I read it in publication order? Do I read it in chronological order? And guess what? I chose chronologically. And that was the wrong choice. And I've literally been regretting it since I read it. So mad at myself. So if you don't know, The Assassin's Blade is about a girl called Selena. She's a teenager and an indentured servant, and her service is that she is an assassin, and she's the best. Like, she is the best assassin, okay? I loved Selena. She gave me such Beth Dutton vibes with just her no-nonsense, kick-ass. Oh, I loved her. Loved her. So, Selena gets hired to do this mission for her boss, Arabin. And she gets paired with this guy, Sam, who is also an assassin and who she's always kind of viewed as like her rival. So her and Sam go on this mission and it's already off to a bad start because they don't really like each other. But then they get there and it's bad when two assassins are like, morally, we cannot. Like, the mission is so bad that both Sam and Selena are like, yeah, we're not doing that. So they decide to not only not complete the mission, but to sabotage the mission. And the book or the novellas, whatever, are basically the consequence of them sabotaging this mission, this assignment. And if you know, you know. If you've read this book, you know what happens at the end. I did not. First of all, I shipped the shit out of Sam and Selena. I freaking loved them. I literally highlighted The Assassin's Blade within an inch of its life because I was so obsessed with Selena and Sam and Selena, and I loved them so much. And I'm so mad at myself, you guys. I'm so mad. So had I read The Assassin's Blade in the middle of the series or 2 or 3 books in, whatever it was that it came out, it would have been a good book to get some insight into the past of events that I assume I would have already known happened. But because I'm an idiot and I read it chronologically, I went into The Assassin's Blade knowing absolutely nothing. I didn't know anything. I knew some names. I had no idea any plot points, anything that happened. I had no spoilers. All I knew were names. Like, I knew Aelin, Rowan, Manon, Kale. Those are the only names I knew. So when I started this book and I saw Sam and Selena, I was like, oh, like, this must be a prequel about, like, side characters. Like, these aren't the main characters because I've literally never heard of these names before. What? So here's me shipping the shit out of Sam and Selena, not knowing what fate would have in store for me. And I get to the end and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is a joke, right? Right? No, it was not. It was not. And this is a piece of information. I'm trying not to spoil it, but the end of the book is a piece of information that I feel like everybody who read it in publication order, like, they already knew that happened. And I feel like they also already had their ships established, which is the biggest reason I've been putting off continuing this series, because if you know me, and if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I am steadfast with my ships. Like, I'm going down with this ship. I pick a ship. That's my ship. I don't waver. I don't change. I'm going down with this ship. And for me, that was Sam and Celaena. So I was like, why would I continue this series when I know that I'm never going to ship anybody else with Celaena? Like, I'm just not. I know I'm not. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll eat my words and, like, this will be different. But, like, I know myself and I just don't see that happening. Like, so I messed up. I messed up reading this book first, because now I'm like, I'm going to go into this series, the rest of the series. I'm not going to ship anybody with Celaena. I'm not going to like it. And I'm just mad. I'm just mad because I feel like if I had read it in publication order, it would have just been like, you know, a wealth of information about the past. And instead it was like total and complete heartbreak and completely discouraging from finishing the rest of the series. Fun times. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to read it. I'm going to do it. I hope I eat my words. I hope I can get over how dirty they freaking did me at the end of The Assassin's Blade. But I would not hold my breath. I really wouldn't, because I know me. This is going to be bad. This is going to be so bad. And I wanted to enjoy this series so much. Like, I wish that someone had, like, slapped me and been like, absolutely not, do not read The Assassin's Blade first. Don't do it. Don't do it. And here we are. I will update you once I get into this. Okay, so I am like 75 pages in, and I'm liking it. I'm not loving it, but I'm liking it. It takes place about a year after The Assassin's Blade ended. Celaena is at this labor camp. She's basically been withering away for a year until one day the captain of the Royal Guard, Kale, shows up and is like, hey, come with me, and brings her to the prince, Dorian, who basically tells her that his dad, the king, is having this competition in order to find his, like, personal assassin. And 23 people, maybe it's 24, counting him. I don't know. I think it might be 24. Get to sponsor someone in hopes that they will be chosen and win this competition. And so Dorian wants to sponsor Celaena. And he tells her that if she wins, she will only have to be the king's personal assassin for 4 years, and then she gets her freedom, or she can stay at the labor camp until she dies. So obviously, Celaena's like, yeah, sure, she wants her freedom. Like, her dream is to just go live in the mountains in peace. And I'm like, relatable. Yes, let's all do that. But, so she agrees. And so her and Kale and Dorian head back to the palace, where the Assassin's Blade all took place. And yeah, so now she's living at the castle, the glass castle, waiting for this competition. I'm going to tell you right now, I read these books in the wrong order. I really did, because it's so weird to read this book and feel like I'm not supposed to know things that I know. I'm just not. Like, there's supposed to be all this mystery about, like, how she was captured and who did it and why, and I'm like, but I already know that. Celaena doesn't know that, but I already know that. And I'm like, first-time readers, like, they're not supposed to know this. So it's definitely taken a lot of the mystery out of it. Like, why? Why would I read the prequel novellas first? Why? Sam has not been mentioned. He's not been mentioned. But she has said his line over and over and over again. And I am upset about it. Okay, I'm upset. But I will say that one of the things that, the one positive of having read The Assassin's Blade first is that I went into the book already knowing that I like Celaena. Like, we already have a connection. I already love her. So I guess that's the one positive. But yeah, it just feels very strange. Like, I shouldn't know the things that I know reading this. And also, I don't know if Dorian or Kale are supposed to be Celaena's future love interests, but I don't want her with any of them. Like, I literally just want Selena to, like, kill everyone and get her revenge and then go live off in the mountains. Like, I don't want a romance with Dorian, who seems to only be preoccupied with, like, her looks. And I don't want her in a relationship with Kale either. No thank you. And I knew that this would be a problem. If I'm supposed to be shipping them, I'm not. Okay, so I'm like 160 pages in at this point. Selena is going through the different tests in the competition. And now there's like a murder aspect to it. Like the other, I'm going to call them contestants. But the other people that she is competing against for this job as the king's assassin are just kind of like dropping dead at this point. And they don't really know why or who's doing it, what's causing it. So there's that aspect of it, which is, it's okay. It's okay. Like, it's not boring. I'm not bored, but I'm also not like, I don't know. I'm just not that intrigued with that aspect of it. Because I feel like it's pretty obvious that Selena's probably going to win. But I will say, Sam was mentioned. My sweet, sweet Sam. I was not expecting him to be brought up so soon. I felt like maybe they would like allude to it, but I was not at all expecting like that super sad moment where she's playing music and it's so emotional, and I just love Sam and Selena so much, and I'm so upset. I'm so upset. I'm literally so upset. I think I highlighted that entire thing because I was just like, oh my gosh, why? I will never be over it. I will never be over it. Which then, of course, brings me to whatever weird love triangle situation they've got going on. Because it definitely feels like they're trying to make both Dorian and Kale, like, potential love interests. Dorian, to me, like, it literally just seems like it's a physical attraction. Like, she even says, like, you only like me because you see me as, like, an adventure. And I just don't get it. I don't like it. It literally just seems like they both think that the other is hot. And I'm like, okay. I don't really like the idea of Kale and Selena together either. But if I had to choose between the two, I guess I feel like there's more of a connection with Kale than Dorian. But I really don't want a relationship with Selena with either of them. Like, no thank you. I just want Selena to eviscerate everyone. Like, they keep being like, oh my god, she's so dangerous, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, let's see it. Like, let's let Selena loose, okay? Let's let her do what she does best. But yeah, I'm not interested at all in the love, romantic aspect of any of this, unless it's Sam. Okay, so I am like a little over 50% through the book. And right now, Selena is investigating these murders. And I just finished Wednesday, and it's giving off very much a vibe of that, at least like the murder aspect of it. And so, yeah, I guessed Wednesday, like from the very first episode of like who the killer was, and this book's kind of giving off that vibe where I'm like just super suspicious and I have my guesses and trust no one. Selena is literally the only person that I trust. At this point, she's literally the only one that I trust in this book. I also think that the woman who came to her in the dream, Elena, I'm like, they're related, right? Like, I'm just going based off the fact that their names are so similar and she's from the same place as her. So I'm like, they have to be related. Elena and Selena, they're related. If I'm wrong, like, wow. But as of right now, I'm like, they're definitely related. And then we have just this terrible love triangle. It's awful. It's so bad. It's like Selena and Kale and Dorian. And I knew that the romantic side of this book was not going to be something that I enjoyed because of what happened with Sam. And so I knew that, like, I probably wasn't going to ship Selena with anybody. But these are the choices. And I'm trying to think, like, how I would maybe have perceived it if I hadn't read The Assassin's Blade first. And I definitely think I would have been for Kale. At least out of these two options, he's the better one. Like, the relationship between Selena and Kale is far more interesting and intriguing and makes more sense than what's going on with Dorian. I don't understand Selena and Dorian. If this is going to be the ship throughout the series, I don't get it. I don't understand. At least with Kale, there's like some banter and like, I get it. With Dorian, I'm like, Selena's literally just attracted to him. Like, physically attracted to him. And that's it. They don't really know each other. She's just like, oh, he's hot. I want to kiss him. And Dorian, I don't like him at all. I don't trust him. First of all, I don't trust him at all. But I also just don't really like him. And I really don't like whatever relationship they're trying to make a thing between him and Selena. It just feels like she's physically attracted to him and he only likes her because she's not like other girls. And I'm not saying that Selena gives off that vibe, because I very much don't think that Selena like thinks that she's better or different from all the other girls. Like, she certainly doesn't act that way with like Nehemia and stuff. I feel like that's Dorian projecting that onto her and being like, oh my God, she's so special and unique and she's not like other girls, so that's why I like her. And I'm like, this is disgusting. Like, I don't like it. I don't want it. No, thank you. I think that I could potentially like Dorian. Like, I like that he's not about what the king's about. But this romance with Selena, no, thank you. I mean, I don't want her with Kale either. And when she was like, I wish Sam was here. And I was like, me too. Okay. I definitely wish Sam was here as well, because these romances are not it. I take it back. Dorian is dead to me. I just got to a part where, they're in the kennels and his dog had puppies, but they're not purebred. And so he's like, yeah, I'm going to kill that one. And Selena's like, absolutely not. You're not going to kill this dog. Like, what? It's cruel. And he's like, plenty of dogs are laid to rest each day. It's not a big deal. Like, what's a dog's life to me? Dorian is dead to me. At this point, I don't care what he does. I already didn't want him with Selena, but now I don't even like him, like, as a character. Get out of here. We're just killing puppies now? No. No. Kate and Lucy would be horrified. I don't know what I just read. So, Selena is on her period, and she's having really bad cramps, and she just threw up. And Dorian comes in and like knows the situation because Kale told him. And he literally says, it can't be that bad. What? And then she says, like, I already told you, like, I'm sick. I don't want visitors right now. And he goes, you look fine to me. So she's like, leave. Like, I don't feel well. Please leave. And he's like, you should be honored to be in my company. What? And then she throws a book at him, which I love. She throws a book at him, and it's like a romance book. And he is like, you actually read this rubbish? Like, he's shaming her for her taste in books. So many red flags. But then, this is the worst part. At the very end, she goes, Dorian just seemed to be watching her because he enjoyed watching her. And she enjoyed watching him too. What am I reading? This is terrible. We're condoning this behavior. I hate Dorian. Okay. I finished it. Throne of Glass. Done. To say that I was disappointed, I feel like would truly be an understatement. This is by far my least favorite Sarah J. Maas book that I've read so far, which is just, it's sad because I wanted to like it, and I wanted to like it, but I knew that I wouldn't. I knew that I would not like the romance aspect of this book, just based on my feelings and how much I had shipped Sam and Selena in The Assassin's Blade, and just knowing that I am so steadfast in my ships and that I was never going to get over it. So I thought, okay, I'm probably not going to like the romance aspect of this book, but there's still a chance that I could like really be into like the plot of it, right? Most unfortunately, the romance was such a huge part of this that it literally made it impossible for me to enjoy this. So I think ultimately I'm going to give this a 3. It was okay. It wasn't the worst book that I've ever read, but I was just very much disappointed. So obviously, like I said, I knew that the romance part of this was not going to interest me, or that I wasn't going to be for any of the ships. Like, I was open to being pleasantly surprised, but I assumed that that was not going to be the case. And most unfortunately for me, the majority of this book was a freaking love triangle, okay? I already hate love triangles, but going into a book where my ship has already sunk and, like, being presented with a love triangle, I was like, are you kidding me? And then the choices with the love triangle, I'm confused. I just feel like if these are the ships that are going to carry me through this series, I don't know if I'm going to make it. So the two ships, we have Dorian the Prince and Kale, the Captain of the Royal Guard. Now, I didn't have a huge problem with Kale. Did I ship Kale and Selena? No, not necessarily. But I feel like if I had not read The Assassin's Blade first, then I probably would have shipped Kale and Selena. Their relationship or potential relationship, bond, whatever, just made more sense. The banter, I loved it. They seemed to agree on a lot. I don't know. I just really, really liked like their relationship. Like, it made sense. Did I ship it? No. But he was by far the better of the two options, because then you had Dorian. And I'm still scratching my head about this because I feel like he was a character that I was really meant to like and root for and want Selena with, and I freaking hated him. I feel like the bar was on the floor when it came to men in this book. It was like, oh, because Dorian's not like his dad, the king, who conquers these countries and like kills all these, because he doesn't agree with that, like, he's a good guy. There were so many red flags with Dorian. And then not only that, but he was meant to be like attractive. Like, these red flags were meant to be attractive if Selena condoning them were any sort of indication. So like at one point his like prized purebred dog like gets pregnant and has these, as he calls them, mutts, and he doesn't want them because they're not purebred, and he says that he's gonna kill one of them. And I mean, from then on I was like, okay, you're dead to me. You want to kill a puppy. And he literally says, like, what's a puppy's life to me? No, get out. Then there's the whole scene with like Selena on her period where she's like having all these horrible cramps, and she had just thrown up. She didn't feel good, and like he knew that, and he literally says like, it can't be that bad. You look fine to me. Then he shames her for what she's reading, and this is all deemed as like okay. Selena's like, it's okay because he's hot. What? I didn't get it. I did not get it. I did not understand. I spent the majority of this book being like, are we supposed to like him? Are we supposed to root for him and Selena? Because I am not. I surely am not. I don't like him. I don't want them together. I don't understand their relationship and he was jealous too. Like that was a really big thing. Like he was so jealous of any sort of interaction that Selena had with Kale. Terrible, terrible. I disliked him so much. I hated Selena and Dorian together, and that was a good majority of the book. So like, yeah. Then you had the actual plot of the book. So it was supposed to be this competition that Selena was in to like become the king's assassin. It was so long. It was so long. I think she had like, what, 24? I don't even know how many tests. It went on forever. And there were so many tests that at some point they just like stopped telling you about them. Like at first we like went with Selena to the first couple of tests and like were there. And then it would just kind of like got pushed to the wayside and was like, oh yeah. And then a couple of days ago, Selena had a test and it involved this and like moving on. And I was like, I thought that was the plot. Like I thought this whole competition was the plot, and it just kind of like disappeared until the big finish, which I also felt like was a given that Selena was going to win. So I really wasn't that invested from the start because I was like, well, obviously she's going to win. The murder mystery, okay? And I was into that. I had all these theories. I thought there was going to be this big twist. Like, I was excited. And then it was like, they literally picked the most obvious, absolutely no twist whatsoever person to be the murderer, and why? Yeah. It was like a letdown at every turn. Literally, the only parts that I liked were that Selena was so bookish. Her puppy, love it. And her friendship with Nehemia. And then there were like Kale and Selena scenes that I didn't hate. And that was it. I was disappointed. I was really disappointed. Am I going to continue this series? Yes. Yes, I am. If not only just to see Selena take down Arabin. Like, that's what the Assassin's Blade was about, and like, I need it. They mentioned him a lot in this. Oh my god. Every time they mentioned Sam, every time Selena said Sam's mantra, that was the best part. I take it back. That was the best part of the book. The saddest, best part. But yeah, I'm literally only going to continue this series because I want to see Selena take him down. Like, I want her to have her revenge. And like, be able to have freedom. That's what I want. That's why I'm going to continue. I really don't care about these relationships at all. I hope that Dorian gets better. But if I have to suffer through more of him and Selena, like, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. And if you would like to subscribe, please do. That would be wonderful. And I'll see you guys in the next reading vlog, probably. Okay, just to cut in. They put a pronunciation guide at the back of the book. I don't understand why they do that, because obviously, why wouldn't they put it up front with the map? So that I'm not spending the entire book pronouncing names incorrectly. Let's see how many I got. Kale. I mean, I guess if you say it quickly, it kind of sounds like kale. Kale. I'm gonna go with kale. Robin. Well, I've been spending 2 books pronouncing it Arabin, and apparently it's Arobin. Oops. I was pronouncing word like weird the entire time. Yeah. The word, it was literally W-Y-R-D, and apparently it's pronounced word. And I most definitely was pronouncing it weird. Weird marks. Yeah, I don't know why you would put that in the back of the book. Because it's not spoiling anything. It's just helping me out. So the only ones that I really, really messed up were Word and Arobin. I'm still going to call him Arobin because it's literally been 2 books that I've read it as Arobin. Death to Arobin. Yeah. Otherwise, I did pretty good. I'm still going to go with Kale, too. Kale. It literally sounds... Okay.